Some weird basketball games on last night for Thursday, February 26th. I didn't get to tune into all of them, obviously, so I will talk about only the games that I watched. I'll do a quick recap of the other ones. I did not get to watch any of the Charlotte Hornets defeating the Indiana Pacers by 24 points on the road. What I am seeing is that Charlotte won the second quarter by 24 points. So that's where the difference maker of this game was. Second quarter, they won 36-12. But shout out to Con Knippel. He had just recently broke the rookie record for most three-pointers in a rookie season. I've seen him getting so many comparisons recently to, Klay Thompson, but better, all this good stuff. Con is a pure basketball player. He is so good with the ball in his hands. He's so good as a catch and shoot. He's so good at running around without it. Very impact player on both ends of the floor. Hornets got themselves a building block for the future in Con Knippel. Between LaMelo, B. Mills, and Con, those three guys are running the show over there in Charlotte, and they're doing a good job. They are now only 2 games under 500. I'm expecting them to get pretty much closer to that 500 mark. I'm expecting them to get over the 500 mark by the time the season starts. If I go to the standings right now, they're sitting at that 10 seed. They're pretty secure unless Milwaukee goes on a big run if Giannis comes back at keeping that 10 seed. If not moving up, if Atlanta continues to fall or Miami continues to lose some games. Moving on, though, I did get to watch the entire fourth quarter of this game, and I do want to give a shout-out to Joel Embiid for going through all the health issues that he's gone through. Even this year, I don't think people realize the health that he's gone through this year. 26 points, 8 for 20. Tyrese Maxey had a fantastic play. They were up by, I think it was only 3 points or 2 points they were up by, and Tyrese Maxey drove right into the paint, kicked it out to Embiid for a catch-and-shoot 3, and he hit the 3 and did a whole celebration to the Philly fans. That was awesome. A lot of respect for Philly and what they've been doing recently. But I thought that the end of game, or late game heroics, or situation, you could say, from the Miami Heat was terrible. That's my biggest takeaway from this. Late in the fourth quarter, between Jaime Jaquez and Tyler Hero and Bam Adebayo and Andrew Wiggins was really their closing 4 with, I think it was Davion Mitchell was out there with their closing 5. Terrible. Tyler Hero took some of the worst couple shots I've seen a NBA player take with like 2 minutes left in the game, and it's really frustrating to see Tyler Hero being demoted not only to a bench spot, but then closing the game and not playing well in those closing moments when he's supposed to be that guy. I was saying it with the emergence of Norman Powell. I'm just surprised Tyler Hero stuck around this long with the Miami Heat. Especially with Jaime Jaquez finally getting more minutes again. Kasparas Yakishovas trying to get more minutes. Davion Mitchell and Pele Larson's been starting like every game. Still really don't understand the Pele Larson stuff, but I mean, I guess Spoelstra sees something in him that he really likes. But I was just really disappointed with their late game execution for the Miami Heat. I thought that they could have won this game if they had just done a couple better things right. But the Sixers did that stuff better. Tyler Hero was not creating for his teammates. Tyrese Maxey was. Kelly Oubre had a very efficient game. Love seeing a good, efficient game out of their starting small forward. I got you, Chris. I know. I'll try and work something out where we might be able to have, if we have an extra poster or something, I'll see if we can make something happen. But I want to give credit to Kelly Oubre, being that small forward, 21 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists. Very, very impressed with Kelly Oubre's impact with the 76ers. I did not tune into this game, but I did watch every Corey Kispert shot because I believe he was 5 for 5 at the end of the first quarter from 3. Of course, Chris. I'll try and make something work. I apologize for that once again. But man, Jonathan Kuminga inserted into the starting lineup for Jalen Johnson has a fantastic game. Plus 23, plus minus 17 points, 5 for 9 from the field, 9 rebounds. Him and Onyeka Okongwu were absolutely dominating that, and they were letting Dyson Daniels be the primary ball handler. And as long as Dyson Daniels is not shooting 3-point shots, he's a pretty damn good basketball player. And I saw that there was a statistic with Dyson Daniels that he has more air balls this year from 3 than he has threes made. Now, mind you, he did already get the contract extension from the Atlanta Hawks, so he's there in Atlanta for a bit. They got to find a true point guard to put next to him, though. I don't think C.J. McCollum is the answer. Obviously, Gabe Vincent and Keaton Wallace off the bench is not the answer. I'd like to see Dyson Daniels go back to his, shooting guard, run that Amen Thompson kind of role as a shooting guard, but they don't really have the point guard ability to be able to do that. Now, mind you, Atlanta has been on a roll recently. They're sitting right around 500. Who would have thought the Atlanta Hawks are around 500, where they've been for the past decade of my life? But good win for Atlanta over Washington. I really have nothing good to say about Washington until I see them not tanking. They've lost every game, it feels like, in the past month by 30 points with no Trae Young and Anthony Davis suiting up. So, honestly, not much to say about them. Same thing with the Brooklyn Nets. I really don't have much good to say about the Brooklyn Nets right now. I guess they're getting their young guys more minutes, like Danny Wolf, 22 minutes, Drake Powell, 21. Nolan Traore is definitely a bright spot. He's started to take over this backcourt a little bit, with Jaeger Demon being the ball handler, Traore being the scorer, and then it kind of goes back and forth depending on the night. I at least like that they're trying it out, giving those guys a chance, but San Antonio went in and absolutely dominated. Wemby only took 9 shots. As you can see, they didn't have any player play over 28 minutes in their starting lineup, and their most played guy was Dylan Harper off the bench. Exactly what I would want if I'm Coach Mitch and the San Antonio Spurs. If you're going to play a team like Brooklyn, just play your young guys more minutes because you don't need your big guys to win. But the main thing I would say is I would love to see Carter Bryant shooting better than 0 for 6 from the field and 0 for 4 from 3. Thought Carter Bryant was going to be an impact player right when he was drafted 14th overall out of Arizona. Has really not been that for them this year, and obviously lost himself the NBA dunk contest if you guys watched that. I did watch a lot of this game, though. Houston Rockets at Orlando Magic. Shout out to Amazon Prime for giving a great broadcast of this game. I thought the commentary was good. I thought everything between, them talking about the game to the half-game interview, I thought everything that Prime does in terms of basketball is really, really good. But it's really funny to watch the Houston Rockets and think to yourselves, they were the 2 seed last year. They made the win now move to go get Kevin Durant, thinking that that would take them over the top. And here we are in basically March of 2026, the following season. And if Kevin Durant doesn't hit all of his fourth quarter shots, the Houston Rockets lose these games. I mean, they are so offensively reliant on Kevin Durant to make shots late in the game. There was multiple instances where Orlando hit some weird, like some open 3 that they actually made a good play happen, passed the ball around, found a good shot. Specifically Desmond Bane. There was one play where Mo Wagner and Desmond Bane were both in the right corner, and Mo Wagner had the shot, but literally handed it to Desmond Bane right here. Desmond Bane took the shot and made it, and then Houston had to call a timeout right after it. I thought stuff like that shows the unselfishness that this Orlando Magic team has. And my MVP of this game, I know that they lost, but when I turned it on early in that fourth quarter, Javon Carter was just going crazy, man. For being his size and how small Javon Carter is, having the long career he's been, being a veteran guy, dude is not afraid to just chuck up some of those threes. There was a couple, he hit a 3 on one possession. They came back down the court. They went under on a screen, so he pulled it. He missed. But then down the court, the other end, the ball was moving around. They hit Javon Carter. He hit the defender with a pump fake, got a wide open 3 and made that one. I thought Javon Carter was going to be the reason Orlando snuck this game out, but unfortunately Kevin Durant was just too much of a menace late in this fourth quarter of this game. KD did make NBA history with that 40-point game. 40 points on 50% shooting, did not miss a free throw, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals. KD just absolute menace on the basketball court. We know this, though. He's one of the best closers, one of the best, pure shot makers, 3-level scorers in NBA history, and it's just funny that you'd think that the Houston Rockets, after having such a great showing with their young talent and building this core, that they wouldn't be so reliant on Kevin Durant late in games, but they really are. And shout out to the efficiency of Jabari Smith Jr. and Reed Shepherd. If they can get efficient shooting out of those two guys, that's what's going to make Houston a difference maker come late, April and May when playoff time rolls around. But until then, I got to see more out of this Rockets team. It should not be coming down to really, really relying on a second half Kevin Durant to keep them in games. I don't think that's going to work against top-end teams in the West like the Spurs, the Thunder, or the Nuggets. Just don't see it being a successful recipe for a long time. Portland Trailblazers went into Chicago and won by 9 points. I didn't really get to tune into this game, but I did. The only thing I wanted to watch, because I just felt like I haven't seen any of him play basketball yet, is Chris Murray. I really don't think I've really watched any Chris Murray play basketball since. And mind you, I can't believe Portland won this game if I'm looking through the statistics now. Look at this. Chris Murray, 0 for 5 from 3. Drew Holiday, 0 for 7 from 3. And Scoot Henderson, 0 for 5 from 3. Now, Scoot Henderson, 6 for 7 from 2, but 0 for 5 from 3. Shooting 22% from three should be a recipe to lose you a game. The problem is against this Chicago Bulls team, anyone and their mom is able to just walk into the paint. I hate to say it, they have no interior defense at all. Now, mind you, they're running like Yabusele as their starting center. Nick Richards coming off the bench is a good center, but we never look at Nick Richards and think, I'm not driving into the paint because he's there. Jeremy Grant absolutely dominating this one. 14 free throws, all coming on like driving shot attempts. I was very impressed with Jeremy Grant's minutes, what I saw. Driving into the paint, they just had so much success, and that's where Chicago is just going to really struggle for the rest of the season, is their interior defense, especially trading away Vucevic. I mean, trading away Vucevic is supposed to help with that. The problem is they replaced him with someone who's like 6'6", so that's definitely not going to help your interior defense, and especially you don't have interior defense, you're not winning games in basketball this year. In one of the most entertaining games that really should not have been entertaining, the Kings went into Dallas and won this game. I asked you guys about Daquan Plowden earlier today. 19 points on 100% from the field shooting for the Kings. But other guys I wanted to talk about. Finally, the Kings realized they're losing games and they thought to themselves, let's just play our young guys. Who would have thought? Maybe you don't play the veterans that are losing you games. Just play your young guys if you're going to be losing games. Finally, Devin Carter, former 13th overall pick. I've been vouching for this guy to get starting minutes, and he finally did. 15 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, 4 steals, 4 offensive rebounds. That is the stuff you want if you're the Sacramento Kings. Nick Clifford, 13 points, but taking 19 shots. That's what you want. Maxime Reynaud, exactly, ASAL. 22 points, 8 of 13 from the field, 6 rebounds. I did not expect to see a front court have a success between Maxime Reynaud and Precious Achuya. But how about Precious coming in out of nowhere? 29 points, 12 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals, 7 offensive rebounds. They had 16 offensive rebounds in this game. That was the difference maker in this win for the Kings over the Mavericks. Now, once again, I cannot believe that we're letting Najee Marshall play 42 minutes and play really good minutes for the Dallas Mavericks. Why would a team not look at Najee Marshall and throw a first-round pick for him? It's especially a contending team. I don't understand. I think Najee Marshall would be so impactful on a winning team right now. But honestly, I love him getting his value up in Dallas, going into the Cooper Flag era, where they're going to need these random guys to increase their value to build the real team they want around Cooper Flag. Najee Marshall, though, should be a guy that is here to stay. I think Najee Marshall is a very good basketball player. Every time I watch him, it feels like he literally just gets better and better every time I watch him play. Brandon Williams off the bench with 16 minutes. AJ Johnson, you guys know I love me some AJ Johnson, former Buck, then traded to the Wizards, then traded from the Wizards to the Mavericks in the Anthony Davis trade. Shooting 100% from the field, plus minus a +5. Shout out to AJ Johnson. But good win for the Kings. I know both these teams are technically tanking, so Dallas is probably kind of happy that the Kings won this game. But if I'm the Kings, you got to develop a winning culture at some point, especially with these young guys. Devin Carter, Nick Clifford, Maxime Reynaud. I would give these guys so many minutes for the rest of the year. Feel for a guy like Malik Monk, though, still coming off the bench. I feel for a guy like Malik Monk. I wish he was on a different team so we could see playoff, 6-man Malik Monk. An interesting conversation around this game last night. No Devin Booker, no Dylan Brooks, and Royce O'Neal scores the last 7 points of this game for the Phoenix Suns and hits the game-winning three-pointer with, I think it was like 1 second left in the game. And the Suns defeated the Los Angeles Lakers 113-110. A lot of weird discourse going on in Laker Nation right now. After the Orlando Magic loss, which if you guys remember, Luka Doncic did not shoot the game winner. He gave it to LeBron for a turnaround three-pointer to try and win it. After that game, DeAndre Ayton, I think, had 21 points and 13 rebounds. And he said publicly to the media, they're trying to turn me into Clint Capella when I'm not Clint Capella. Well, in this game, DeAndre Ayton, you needed to do anything. You didn't need to be Clint Capella. You needed to do anything impactfully to win this game. -24 plus minus when DeAndre Ayton was on the court. 2 points on 3 shots, 4 rebounds, 1 steal, 0 blocks, 4 rebounds for your starting center in 20 minutes. When, Jackson Hayes can come in and give you 8 rebounds just because of his athleticism. It's so funny how they say they're trying to turn me into Clint Capella. The closest thing they have to Clint Capella is Jackson Hayes. Ayton, you're getting outperformed by Jackson Hayes. You cannot be complaining if you're getting outperformed by Jackson Hayes, who is so dumb skilled at basketball in the nicest way possible. Hurtful, congratulations out there. That stress ball when we're done. Congrats on the $15 group rate credit givey, and stress ball is going your way, Hurtful. Congratulations. But a lot of discourse going around the Lakers between the DeAndre Ayton stuff, and that's a wrap, exactly. Between the DeAndre Ayton stuff as Clint Capella. I also saw a video of Max Kellerman talking about how Luka's ability to get any efficient shot he wants on any given possession really limits the ceiling of the Lakers as a team. Thought that was an interesting conversation to have. And they said he also said that it hurts the development of Luka Doncic in the long term. Isn't that crazy how we're getting to the point where like 41 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists, 2 steals is looked at as such a negative thing now because he's able to get his shot off at anywhere he wants. It is an efficient shot, whether Luka's shooting a 3 or he's getting to his floater or he's getting to the rim. He's such an efficient basketball player to the point where there's not the team camaraderie around him to really make it happen. And I don't think they have the talent around him either to make it happen. This team is way worse, definitely visibly, than that Dallas Mavericks team that went to the NBA Finals 2 years ago. It's way worse. No offense, Austin Reeves has struggled since coming back recently. He's been definitely on he was a 28 point per game scorer, and then recently it's been 15, 18, 14, 18, 16, 16, less than what you expect out of him. Once again, very interested to see if Austin Reeves sticks around with the Lakers. This is the offseason. They got to pay him, so we got to see if they really believe in this Luka Reeves backcourt to be the future. But so much negative connotation on the Lakers. I did say this was a big game for them, and it was because now the Suns have the same win total as the Los Angeles Lakers. So the Suns, I think they're still behind, but they're only probably half a game behind now in the standings. So they are still a full game because they have 2 more losses. But Suns making a sneaky run for that 6th seed. We got to see how this play-in area turns out in the Western Conference. Who's going to be a guaranteed top 6 seed and who's going to have to play the winner of Clippers Blazers for the 8th seed. That's going to be an interesting discourse to have later in the season, but no. Yeah, sorry. Caleb. The Detroit Lions, whoever had the Lions spot gets the Caleb. The Pelicans beat the Utah Jazz in the battle of the 2 tanking teams. Sadiq Bey is the player of the game for this one, though. 42 points on 14 of 20 from the field, 5 for 9 from 3, 9 of 9 from the free throw line. Isn't it crazy, though, to think to yourself, in 2026, Chris Paul is retired. Blake Griffin has been retired now for 3 seasons. And DeAndre Jordan is still catching lob passes for the New Orleans Pelicans in 2026. If you would have told me that DeAndre Jordan was going to outlast Blake Griffin and Chris Paul back in 2015, I would have told you you're crazy. And here we are now. DeAndre Jordan still getting starter minutes over Derek Queen, over Carlo Makovic, over Kevon Looney, who they signed in the offseason. Nope. It's DeAndre Jordan getting those minutes. I think it's hysterical. I don't know what the Pelicans are doing, but I can tell you it's wrong. As for the Jazz, they're continuing to develop their young guys. Bryce Sensabaugh, Ace Bailey, Kyle Filipowski, just developing their young guys. Not much to say about Utah. And in the last game of the night, I did get to watch a lot of this one. Anthony Edwards versus Benedict Mathurin, really, and Derek Jones Jr. Why do teams hate developing their young players? There's teams that just don't do it right. So many teams around the league I could point out, ASAP. Like, no offense, the Chicago Bulls have been running Billy Donovan as their coach because he's a win-now coach for 7 years when all they've needed is someone to develop their guys. And, like, Chicago, terrible at developing their players. Milwaukee used, like, 4 first-round picks during the Giannis era when they were competing. Not one of them is good right now. Literally not one of them is a good basketball player for the Bucks right now. Milwaukee, terrible at developing their young guys. The only reason, in my opinion, why Giannis turned out the way he was, Jason Kidd was the coach. If you guys remember, Jason Kidd, the same coach as Cooper Flagg right now. Yes, exactly that. Yep. I don't know. You got to remember, Jason Kidd was the coach when Giannis was getting developed. Atlanta Hawks are never going to be around over 500 with Quinn Snyder as their head coach. It just doesn't happen. There's so many teams that are so bad at developing their young guys, and I completely agree, Sal. It's just a weird thing to see. Like, I just don't understand how you are the New Orleans Pelicans, who are 18-42, 18-42 on the season, and you're actually going to give DeAndre Jordan the same amount of minutes as Derek Queen, your first-round pick. That, by the way, you traded your unprotected first-round pick this year. That Pelicans pick, that 18-42 Pelicans pick, is owned by the Atlanta Hawks. You want to know why? It's because of Derek Queen. It's because they traded up to get Derek Queen. So you'd think by the time you're mathematically eliminated in the NBA season with 22 games to go left, you'd think you'd want to push that young guy to be the best version of himself so the trade could look even better right now. But nah, we're going to just play DeAndre Jordan 13 minutes instead and call it there. I don't understand it. I will never understand front office decisions. Making those trades then, not thinking about this time of the season when you're going to want to play them, is there, like, if you're not going to play them, why make that trade then? You know what I mean? If you're not going to do it, why make the trade then? It doesn't make any sense to me. I could go on and on about so many players that are getting ruined by just the teams that they're on right now and the situations they're in. But, like, I also look at the Utah Jazz, right? You want to know what? The Utah Jazz, you can tell we're tanking in this game, and that's because Kevin Love played 20 minutes and Kyle Filipowski played 18. They know Filipowski's a better basketball player right now than Kevin Love. Utah does. Utah wanted to lose this game to the Pelicans. So fourth quarter rolled around. They threw all their chips in the air and said, we just got to make sure we lose this game. Elijah Harkless playing 21 minutes. Oscar Tshiebwe, 10 minutes. Bryce Sensabaugh, 25. Blake Hinson, 18. If I had chosen any of the guys on this bench, you guys probably could not have told me who they play for, like, honestly. So that's where I'm at with this Pelicans-Jazz game. It was a weird one. But going back to the Anthony Edwards versus Derek Jones Jr. and Benedict Mathurin, good win for the Timberwolves because they were losing going into the fourth quarter of this game. I was super, super impressed with the defensive impact of the Clippers all day long. Between Jordan Miller, every time he's on the court, just continues to impress me on the offensive side of the ball. I love me some Jordan Miller. I talked about him earlier, Yannick Conan Niederhauser. Dude plays really hard when he's on the court. I really like his versatility on defense. I like what the Clippers are building, but no Kawhi Leonard, no Darius Garland. It's going to be tough to win if Benedict Mathurin's not having an outstanding, offensive game. And the Timberwolves took advantage of it, specifically Anthony Edwards late in the fourth quarter. And lastly, I got to give a shout out to Ayo Dosunmu. That was their, big off-season or mid-season acquisition. Ayo Dosunmu was for the Timberwolves, and he's been awesome since coming over there. He's good defensively. He's good in the system. He's good off the ball. He's good with the ball. Very impressed with Ayo Dosunmu. Never impressed with Bones Highland when I see him. Never impressed with Bones Highland when I see him play basketball. No offense, I'm not a Bones Highland guy. And once again, I will continue to say it. Who would have thought the Timberwolves defense gets so much better when Rudy Gobert is on the court? But that's all I got to say about last night's NBA games. Going into tonight, great game on ESPN at 7 o'clock, Cavaliers at Pistons. Donovan Mitchell out, James Harden, game time decision. You out of here? I'll see you. But I actually just saw one of the funniest stats of the season, and that is Jalen Brunson, when he is guarded by Dean Wade, is terrible. Don't want to throw anything out there, but the Cavs and Knicks have to see each other in the playoffs. Remember I said that. Dean Wade is like the best Jalen Brunson defender in basketball right now. Expecting the Detroit Pistons to win this one, but you never know. You never know with top teams like that in the Eastern Conference. You got Knicks Bucks, which is going to be a good game at 8 o'clock. No Giannis in this one, so the Knicks should win, but Bucks have been playing really good basketball recently between Kevin Porter Jr. playing like out of his mind. Kyle Kuzma's finally been averaging like 15 points a game, which is good. Ryan Rollins has been playing good basketball, so I'm excited about that Bucks-Knicks game. Grizzlies, Mavericks, let's see who wants to lose this one more. And then the game of the night, Nuggets, Thunder, no Shai Gilgeous-Alexander in this one. Maybe that's not true. Is Shai back tonight? It looks like Shai is back tonight, actually, funny enough, so never mind. Shai looks to be back tonight. So healthy Nuggets versus basically healthy Thunder. Great game at 9:30 tonight. Cannot wait for that one. That's going to be my NBA recap of the day.